In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 4 different Makeup Revolution palettes that I got, and I'm going to be showing you guys swatches of each of these and giving you guys my thoughts. The first one is the Revolution Forever Flawless Birds of Paradise palette. Now, I love the packaging on this. I find the feathers to be so beautiful, so really love that. And then on the inside of the palette, you have these bold, bright, colorful eyeshadows. So if you're really into like bold and colorful looks, I think you'd really love this palette. And then I'm going to show you guys the swatches. So here's the swatches. And I find that although these are bold and colorful, you can go in with a light hand and they look a little bit more muted. So if you're kind of afraid of colors, this would be a good palette to get used to, you know, like colorful looks, because you can always just go in with a light hand. But you can also pack on the pigment, and I find that it really works as well. And you can really get these colors to pack a punch. So if you want it to look very bold, you can make it look bold as well. These colors are truly beautiful for spring and summer. I really love the glitters in here. Now, one thing about this shade, Fiesta, it's an interesting shade. It actually feels like a cream kind of formula. And same with Exotic here. And then Hot Tropic. Yeah, you kind of get these cream, almost kind of like, you can use these as toppers too. So that's kind of interesting. And I thought it was a little bit different and unique. Then Lovebirds and Rio act as like glitters. So make sure you apply it over something, I would say. The rest of these colors are beautiful mattes. So if you like bold, colorful mattes as well, this palette is definitely for you. Okay, the next palette I'm going to mention to you guys, this is the Revolution Forever Flawless Chilled palette. So this one, I really do find the packaging to be kind of unique and very pretty. So I like that. And I found that it really fit in with the theme well. And then the inside of this palette is really stunning. I love green eyeshadows. So this palette, it's kind of like on the blue-green side, but they're beautiful blue-green. So I really love that. And even they kept in the detailing, the details with the little weeds in here, which is really cute. So I really like that. And then I'm going to show you guys the swatches of this palette. So this is the swatches on this palette. Truly beautiful glitters in here, so I'm really impressed with that. So I love the palette. I also find with this one, these colors are, although they're more like kind of like jewel tones almost, I would say, these pack more of a pigment at first. And I find that it works for this palette because they're not super bright colors anyway. So just know that this palette is a little bit more pigmented in some ways than the Birds of Paradise. So you want to make sure you're going in with a light hand at first when you use this. But overall, the greens in here are beautiful. I really love the glitters as well and the golds. So it has a lot of options for you. You could still do a pretty neutral look because they still have browns in here and golds. But you can also amp it up and add those green shades as well. If you're into like green blue kind of colors, then I think this palette is for you. It has those beautiful jewel tone shades, and then it has a silver in here. So if you're into like blue, greens, and golds, get this palette for sure. I also find this palette would work really well if for like a St. Patrick's Day kind of look. So The next palette I have to mention with you guys, this is the Revolution Forever Flawless. This is the Allure palette. And this is probably the most neutral out of all of them. So I'll show you guys these. Now, I love the packaging on this. I know I skipped over it, but I find the packaging to be really pretty. Kind of like that marble kind of packaging. Kind of reminds me of marble. A little bit of galaxy vibes. So I really like that. Now, the inside of the palette is also beautiful. I love that they have like these marbled shades, which I really loved from the Huda Beauty New Nude palette. But I didn't get that palette because it was kind of expensive. So I got this one instead, which is kind of similar, kind of not. But the inside, these marbled shades are so stunning. I love the shimmers in this palette. Let me show you guys the swatches. So now this palette is probably the most neutral out of all of them, like I said, but it is more on the rosy tone side. So if you like kind of like nudes, like in a pink rosy tone kind of way, like mauves and rosy shades, I think you'd really love this palette. Also has a few more purple kind of mauve shades. So overall, this palette is really gorgeous for that. The shimmers in here are stunning, so I love that. And the mattes are good too. So if you don't want to go too bold, this palette is for you. Or if you just like pink and you like more girly kind of colors, this palette's for you. And I definitely do so. Okay, and then my final palette I'm going to share with you guys. This is the Revolution Pro. Now, this is the new neutral smoked palette. So this is different from the other ones. It's a little bit more expensive. The other ones, the Forever Flawless, come around $15, but I got it on sale for $9. Whereas this one is, I want to say, this one's $20 and it wasn't on sale. So, but it's a really good palette. The packaging is very like simple, but I like it. I think it's cute. Kind of like has that cheetah print packaging, even though it's just black. The inside is stunning. So this gives me like Nabla Dreamy 2 palette vibes. So that's why I really gravitated towards this palette. I'm obsessed with glitter. So let me show you guys swatches of this one. It's going to be kind of hard to see, but so I actually apologize for the terrible swatches here, but it was hard to fit them all on my hands. So, but you can see how beautiful these glitters are. Let me show you guys this one because it didn't really pick up. And the Smite. This palette is just the most stunning glam palette ever. If you're really into, I would say like evening looks, like if you perform or anything like that, or you just like to wear glitters and kind of stand out, I think this palette would be for you. Especially if you're like a singer or you do gigs or something. I think that's what this palette would really be like great for. Or if you're like a dancer or you just like glitters and glam looks, this palette is stunning for that. It kind of has that evening vibe too because they have these darker shades as well. So that's why I said performer. I could picture someone on stage wearing these kind of colors. But it would also serve well as like a holiday looks as well. So overall, really beautiful.